this bishop he mentioned is an example of who an apostle is. He is very good when it comes to the evangelical ministry, and he's very good to when it comes to the pastoral or the teaching ministry. And then again, it's good when it comes to the prophetic ministry, but not to a certain extent that people may be measuring, especially with today's way of doing prophetic service and other things. So basically, I think I wasn't here, and then I just came, and I do not have enough gatherings about it. So I think I'll just limit myself here.
Yeah, so for you said something. You said an apostle is someone who has a bit of other ministries. I wanted to ask last week, but because of time, I wanted to ask, can one person operate in all these ministries we are talking of? What I mean is, can one be an apostle, pastor, teacher, evangelist, and a prophet? Can one man operate in all these ministries we are talking of?
Exactly as I said, you may have your major calling, but there are other giftings that may be attached to you. Just as our various schools, when we go, we have major courses we are reading, then we have minor courses. In case you are giving a minor course or something that you did that is related to what you did at school, you may be able to manage, or better still, do something about it. So once you are called as an evangelist, does not mean when it comes to prophecy, God cannot use you to do so. So there are other giftings that may be given to you. For instance, the Lord said, in the last days, I will pour out my spirit upon all what? Flesh. And your sons and daughters will do what? Prophesy. He did not say, I will pour upon all the prophets. So it means the spirit being poured. We have the apostles who will receive that same spirit. We have the evangelists, the pastors, the teachers that will receive that same oil. So they may be so, but at least they can also, do something in the other ministries. So these days, you rarely see somebody who is stagnant at one point. Almost everybody is universally made. Just that in our generation, sometimes we force things.
I think the reason I'm asking the question is, as you said, these days you see somebody operating in the prophetic, and see somebody also operating in the apostolic, and you see also somebody operating in the office of a teacher or the pastor. And then, some people normally say that it is not supposed to be so. So that is why I am asking the question. But you said something I love so much. You said you can have your major calling. So I can be called as a teacher, or I can be called as an apostle, and still have some of these ministries attached to it, or operate in some of them, but not fully. If I'm getting you correct.
Yes, exactly, sir. Let's take, for instance, though it may not be related to our discussion, but let's take this player in Liverpool, Van Dijk. He is a recognized world defender, but he scored goals.
Yes. Sometimes he overlaps.
Yes. So these are some of the examples I want to put. He is a defender, doesn't prevent him from scoring goals. In case it is needed of him to what? Score a goal, he have to do so. So that is also what the man of God or the servant of God ought to do. Wherever you are needed in a certain office by God, he can use you.
Thank you so much. So for
Yes, what I want to say is that who is the backing of this fivefold ministry that we are talking about? Is the Holy Spirit. And anywhere the Holy Spirit is, there is healing and prophecy. Automatically.
wow.
Anywhere the Holy Spirit is, it means that automatically everything is possible. For instance, he said he gives some apostle. It does not mean you cannot be an evangelist. I set an example like Dag Heward-Mills, Bishop. He planned churches, he's an apostle, and he's an evangelist. But it's like we are making the fivefold ministry like, if you have this, you cannot have this. No.
Okay.
Somebody can have all the five.
All right.
So one thing that we need to know is that it's the Holy Spirit who is helping you to do. And it was given to equip the church for the perfecting of the saints. So it means that the fivefold ministry was given to us to bring maturity in the life of a believer. So since the Holy Spirit is doing that, you don't have power on your own, because it's the Spirit that is using you. So anything, so for instance, if I'm an apostle and I'm going to plant churches, it does not mean God cannot use me in a prophetic office. And it does not mean also that I sit in the office of the prophet. No. You can prophesy, but you cannot sit the office of the prophet. That is why last week I was saying that it seems like there are too many prophets in the system. Anybody who can see thinks that he's a prophet and he can sit on the prophetic office. No, the prophet is an office. Oh. Apostle is an office. A teacher is an office. So the mere fact you see does not mean you qualify to be a prophet and you can sit in the office of the prophet. He said, I'll pour my spirit upon all flesh, as my brother said. They will prophesy and see vision. Seeing vision does not mean that you can sit in the office of the prophet.